Yo, 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 Paint to the Pit podcast. We are back. Your
We
boy
back.
Dwayne in the building.
Back.
Jay, how you feeling? Wait, wait,
Amazing.
wait. Hold on, bro. It says it
What's up?
says my name under yours. You see that?
I can't
Hold
because
on.
I'm on
Yeah,
the
no,
app.
no, 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 no. We're gonna stop that.
Uh,
Grenade team, Paint to the Pit podcast. We are back. We are back in the building. Jay, how you feeling?
I'm amazing, man. Glad to be back. Glad to be back for this one, man. It's exciting
Man,
times.
Man, we are back. We promise y'all we are back. We took some time off to really rebrand, figure out what the strategy is going to be moving forward. You
Mm-hmm.
know, shout out to our brother O will be here and there on the pod with us as he gets the time, but you know, his focus and you know his goals are elsewhere right now. So of course that's still our brother. We still
Bro, of
love him. But you know, paint
course,
to the pit,
of
gotta
course.
move on because the NBA season is starting.
It's a beautiful
Wrestling is
time.
all over the place. We are here. But Jay, I'm gonna take the glasses off for this. I wanted to start with you. Talk to me. Talk to me about wrestling. I need a state of
Oh
the
man.
union on wrestling.
Yeah.
We haven't spoke to
It,
our pay to the
yeah.
pit crew members in a while. So I need you to give me a state of the union.
If anything needs a State of the Union right now, it's definitely WWE, bro. Because it's been a year. It's all over the place, man. I think it's definitely been a lot of changes since we last spoke on what's been going on. I
Right?
can't quite remember where we last left off. I think it was WrestleMania, right? Something like that. So like around SummerSlam times.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
But man, I'm trying to remain a fan. That's as much as I can say. I'm
Nah, bro.
trying
I feel you on that.
I'm trying to remain hopeful, and I'm trying to see things through and stick it out and get used to the booking and the storylines. And I know everything that comes with it, the injuries and contracts and things happen. It's a business at the end of the day, right?
Yeah.
But it's just, man, I will have to say I have fallen a little bit out of love with the sport of wrestling, and I'm trying to just again trying to stick with it. I know we're
Yeah.
coming, we're close to the road to WrestleMania. We're close to John Cena's last match, his last hoorah. I am looking forward to that. But I think just overall how things been feeling is like it's just hard to stay with it. It's hard to
Okay.
keep grasping on to the weekly episodes. I think the pay-per-views for what they are always give us something. They keep us in the loop, but the shows and the company is not a monthly thing. You know what I mean? It's every week. It's Monday. It's Friday. It's Tuesday. It's Saturday night's main event. And then come the but it's just been hard to stay with the product because you know it it makes you question like what are they doing with certain guys.
Yeah.
We've seen just kind of development where it's like okay they go one way and then they flop back the other way. We see them trying different stuff like formulating new factions. Like we're seeing, for example, Seth Rollins, the Vision, that whole group, and then obviously, the injury, they quickly break them up. That lasted what 70, 75 days, I believe. That's how long Seth's run has been since he came back from that fake, the fake knee injury, which was
Yeah.
cool. Love stuff like
Great
that.
angle.
Right,
Great
right.
angle. Yeah,
Great creative
for
angle. Love
sure.
to see moments like that. But just to have the injury and then which it feels like there's no almost no plan B. I guess it's like it's almost like they're not really prepared for the injuries, which I guess you shouldn't think like that, right? Like that's not somewhere you would really want your head to be. Oh, we need to plan for if this doesn't work out. You kind of hope things and storylines and characters work out and benefit the company and grow the product, right? But I'm just like, man, like he goes down. Now they just vacated the title on Monday, and we back to Jey Uso and CM Punk fighting for the belt, which I don't even know how that's gonna go, right? But it just that storyline right there, I feel like is such a microcosm for the product as a whole lately, where it's like they're running with stuff, and then something happens, and then they're scrambling to figure out, okay, what do we do with this? How do we pivot? Who's next up? Which in
Yeah.
some cases it does kind of work out. Like if we look at, for example, where they place Stephanie Vaquer, which I think she's a great wrestler, great talent. Like the gimmick, the character, it seems to be all there. So that kind
Yeah,
of makes sense, and the fans love her, right? Like the fans are
yeah,
with it. She got the Crown Jewel Championship. Everything she does, the fans want to see her win. She's top of the top right now. So they kind of won right there. But
for
then it's
sure.
just like you see again back to the Seth Rollins thing, back to the sort of where they got the bloodline right now, where it's like this almost just like they're bumping heads now. Roman is kind
Yeah,
of like not really just the head of the table. He's kind of, these are my brothers and cousins and family, and they're kind of all in that mix. But then you got Jey Uso, who's like, I don't really know if I want to rock with you guys anymore. Like I've been doing fine by myself, and it becomes so distorted, and you're trying to figure out like what is the gimmick, what is the character, like who is this person, and I don't think they've been doing a good job of like telling these guys like telling us who they are. Like if you look at, for
yeah,
example, to even take it to someone like Cody Rhodes, right? We've all had our criticisms of Cody Rhodes, right?
for
But
sure.
they
No, nobody bigger than me.
right,
Nobody bigger than
exactly.
me.
Like we go and take the belt off him, give it to John Cena, give John Cena his minor heel run, and then we put the belt back on Cody, and then it's just right back to Cody being Cody. Doesn't really seem like he's changing. He might be in that on that path, but again, that's another aspect of their storytelling. But now he's just back in the feud with Drew McIntyre, and we're just like, haven't we seen this already? Haven't we kind of seen this same loop of guys that always be in the title picture? And granted, you could ask even, okay, who's up next, or who is the guy that you place instead of him? And I get you can argue that it's really not many people that you can slot in to be fighting Cody Rhodes right now. But then it's just like, you got to give us something else. I just don't think the redemption arc of Cody Rhodes and this sort of like legacy and finishing the story type of thing is really holding on anymore.
Yeah,
I don't know if fans are getting tired of it, but I feel like they love Cody Rhodes no matter what. But it's like the character. I don't think the character can last as that for another 1, 2, 3 years. So I'm like, what is gonna happen? What are we gonna see from someone like that who you say is supposed to be the top baby face, the face of the company? Triple H is calling him QB1, right? So
yeah.
like we want we want more. Is it bad of us as fans to demand more from the character that we've seen since he came back and has been doing all he's doing and wonders that, like it's just little things like
Nah,
that
that's
I have
real.
such a question about. And then just to even take it to like say the mid card. Like the mid card is just you can't even give like an honest critique of the mid card. It's like what is the mid card? We
What
don't
is the
even
mid
know.
card? No, I
It's
agree.
like what are they doing with the tag titles? They just switched the tag titles on Monday, which okay, they did something finally, but that was what 100 and something days before Judgment Day got back those titles and then gave them up again. They defended them like twice, I think.
Yeah,
And then you put them on a random pairing like Dragon Lee and AJ Styles. But even like with the SmackDown titles, you got the Wyatt Six, you got the Street Profit, like you got all these great tag teams, especially on SmackDown. Like SmackDown has
yeah,
always had like great tag teams. You got all these guys, and it's like, what are we doing with them? Why are they getting no love? And you just find yourself watching just random storylines that you feel like, okay, like what is the purpose, right? Shout out to Maxine Dupree, shout out to Becky Lynch, but what are we building a Maxine Dupree right now? What
it's
does
real.
that got to do with anything? What happened to Lyra Valkyrie? What happened to Bailey? Like we're just swapping in characters and just trying stuff, right? Like I don't know.
Yeah,
Like then it begs the question of like, okay, are they even allowed to try? Like, should they try stuff? Should they experiment? Should they see what the fans like? To me, maybe, but then again, I'm like, you have all this time and you have so many minds, and it's not just Triple H, right? Like, it's writers and it's
yeah,
everybody in the
for
background. Like, you
sure.
have all these minds together, putting storylines together. Like, where is why are they not figuring out in the background? Why do we have to see it on TV to get it right?
I
Which
agree.
I guess yeah, you're working in for the fans, right? Like, you're trying to please them and see what sticks. I get
Yeah,
that, but it's just sometimes it just feels like the TV just gets wasted. Like you find yourself putting on Roy like I don't need to watch this match right now. Football's on. I'm gonna
Yeah,
go watch
no,
football.
that's real. That's
Like
real.
basketball was about to be on. I'm gonna watch
That's
this
real.
Monday game. Like, but it just yeah. I have so many questions as to just where they're connecting things, and which would be the perfect segue to talk about Triple H. I feel like he's got so much criticism lately, as opposed to how he's been booking like the shows and just the week to week shows and doing the PLEs and putting on like 4 matches on the PLE. Like remember we used to get like 6, 7 matches on the
Yeah,
PLE and like it would go on for hours and you just felt excited because you knew you're gonna see mad people battle. But it's just as he's gone on, I'm just like, I don't know what he's doing.
yeah,
He gets the criticism for how he books certain guys. Of course, there's the racial aspect of it, right? Like the
for
black
sure.
talent kind of just seems to fall to the wayside. They kind of got a little footing in NXT, but it's like NXT developmental brand, man. Like, why these guys like making that next step? We seen Carmelo
Yeah,
Hayes make that next step, but where's Carmelo Hayes now? You can't even find the guy.
yeah,
So,
it's
it
real.
just it's just so many things that he's supposed to be, I guess, the head of the table in the company himself, right? Like
Yeah,
apart from Roman, he's the business head of the table.
absolutely.
But yeah, I just wonder where he wants to take these things because the stories just don't seem to add up. And again, I hope I want to be a fan. I'm hoping that they just continue to get these things right. So, but what do
Yeah,
you what do you what are you feeling? What do you think about like?
yeah, bro. I think I think what we watching with WWE is the byproduct of overexposure, which is stars, right? I think
Mm.
one of the reason that Roman is still able to be Roman is because we're not watching him on 75 different interviews when he's not around. We're not watching him do like random signings and random, and there's
Mhm.
nothing wrong with that because I understand the WWE fan experience and stuff, but you never see him at those signings. You never see like when you see him, it's like a I think like the rap version of like Kendrick, right? Like when you don't see these guys, like you don't ever see them just randomly out and about on Twitter unless
Yeah,
it's like work
yeah.
related stuff, you know what I
Mhm.
mean? So I think that's the byproduct in that too, right? And one, and I think two is WWE always has to figure out the balance between nostalgia and up and coming talent, right? And
Mm.
playing that and that marriage. That's what always made WWE work so well when you talking about like Rock versus Hogan and
Right.
stuff like that. You playing on generations. Like when you get these iconic matches, those iconic matches usually tug on more than one wrestling like emotion, right? So
Mhm.
I do think I do think even getting back to that, right? The matchmaking, like be a little bit more out of the box with it. I don't know why Roman is still attached to Seth Rollins' storyline at this
Yeah.
point. Like, if you're gonna use Roman for something, like I would have if you're gonna use Roman for something, I would much rather you use him for Cody again than give me him fighting Braun Breaker. I don't think that does like anything. It doesn't boost the ratings. It doesn't make people exciting. Like I understand building and pushing for the next generation, but it's like Bronson Reed's gonna take that win and do what with it? You know what I mean? The win only matters when the timing is right. You could beat the Undertaker at WrestleMania, but if you ain't at the point in your career where you're ready to
Yep.
take that next level and the story is there for you
Right.
to take that next level, then there's no reason for you to give me the win. And that's where my frustrations start coming with things, right? You just give Bronson Reed the win over Roman Reigns, and now we got to watch him play sort of second fiddle to Braun Breaker. You know what I'm like? The psychology behind it to me just doesn't make sense, right? And then taking it along to the Cody side of things, like
What's going on?
Bro, what can I say that's
Crickets.
different, bro? And I love talking about wrestling because it's easier for people to differentiate that you're talking about like the character and not the human. So
Yeah.
I
Right.
always try to make sure I make that clear,
Yeah.
especially when I'm going to spew anything that's negative. I'm talking about the character. The character's mid, bro. I've been saying that since we started the pod. I get it.
Yeah.
It's dope. You're gonna look great when your dancing partner, when you first come back, is Seth Rollins, and right after that, your next major dancing partner is the Tribal Chief. You're gonna look good when those are your two starting feuds when you walk back into the business, your two real feuds. But now what? Who is Cody lifting up? Who is Cody making us go, wow, that's a worthy of, and don't get me wrong, I understand that storyline created too, but Cody just doesn't do it. He doesn't move the needle. Now you can convince me, like I always say, I don't have the sales numbers, I don't have the ticket sales, I don't have the merch sales. So if that's the lane you want to argue for Cody, I can't argue that. But I'm just telling you, as somebody who watched wrestling almost all my life, like he doesn't move it for me.
Yeah.
Like he's not one where I go, "Ooh, can't wait to see what Cody." No, like, bro, as a grown ass man, I still get excited when Roman entrance hit, when
Yeah.
Seth entrance hit. Like just certain things, it's like, and Cody got a dope entrance, don't get me wrong, but I'm just talking about the character, you know?
Yeah.
So even in that, it's like I don't know what to say. How many times we gonna watch Drew McIntyre in the same type of role? The
Yep.
same role all the time. Now, what I do think the WWE got good on their hands, and I think it would be the match of WrestleMania if somehow, some way we get Io Sky and Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte and Alexa Bliss for the
Mm.
tag belts. I think that match could still WrestleMania. I think the star power is there. I think either one of those teams could go heel, face, but you don't even need to do that when you got those type. If but the match has to be there. I don't think the eliteness in that will be in the buildup. That'll be in the match. You know what I mean?
Right.
But
Right.
I think just being more creative with how we're using our vets with the newbies, and if we're gonna give them wins, push them and make those wins make sense. Now,
Hmm.
everything with Triple H and the writing, I agree with most people on that as it pertains to the writing has to be better, but at the same time, it's like you can't ask somebody to have 5 different scripts written for injury. So
Right.
I always try to give, just, all right, I get it. Now we gotta force feed the people Jey Uso again because Seth went down. But
Ain't
WWE's
nobody
always
else.
had to do that. Now it's just the next version of it. When
Yeah.
somebody gets injured, the belt goes back on somebody. Remember the wave of booing John Cena when he kept winning the belt? Like
Hmm.
we could
Yeah.
act like we forgot that wave, but yeah, no, that existed when he was getting those same boos that Roman Reigns was getting when he was the big dog. Those
Mm.
same bulls. Jey Uso's starting to get them now. I was reading something that said the YouTube video of Jey Uso winning the Rumble on Monday got more dislikes than likes.
Damn.
Imagine that being the case 6 months ago. You would be looking at me like I'm stupid.
Yeah.
But at this point, it's because they gotta force feed us these people.
Hmm.
It's like at a certain point, nothing develops from the yeet. And it's like, cool. You
Yeah.
rode. Jey Uso did exactly what he was supposed to do. You got a part of the bloodline in terms of the faction. You rode that wave. You excelled in that main event Jey Uso spot. You branched off and became a superstar. And I think even off of this, he's made himself, I would argue, he's given himself a Hall of Fame singles career. I know that's tough. But I would argue it. I would legit argue it because Hall of Fame accolades, WWE just passed those out. But impact is what we determine as the
Right.
fan. Same reason with Daniel Bryan and the Yes movement, the Yeet movement. These are legendary movements
Yeah.
that you
The
know
crowd is.
when people ride the wave, it's not just chanting for you, it's chanting a signature like phrase that you have.
Mhm.
That's a different level of over. You know what I mean? Like people get excited for almost anybody to come out. But when you got that yeet, yeet,
And you in the
yeet,
crowd and
yeet,
taking the
yeet,
babies and
yeet, you
eating
know
with
what
the
I mean?
kid.
So it's like, but now, we getting tired of the yeet.
And tired of the eating.
Getting tired of the yeet. But because Seth gets hurt, it's like you have to put Jey Uso back in that spot because you got to make it, even if we could see right through it, you gotta at least make some fan go, damn, Jay Uso might could win it again. You know, as
Mm.
opposed to LA Knight, which I know people wanted, but it's like at this point, we know WWE is not letting LA Knight win shit. Like, he's
They
not
not
winning
fucking
nothing.
with
So
him.
if
They
it would
not
have been
messing.
LA Knight versus CM Punk, I would have been less interested in the match. And I'm already not interested in it. But
Mm.
I would be less interested if it was LA Knight. I saw some people arguing that LA Knight ain't winning shit. I was like, we gotta let that go.
I think the
LA
wave has
Knight is
sailed for
0 for
him.
100 in big matches, bro.
That's a fact.
They're like, if I'm in Vegas, I'm not gonna think he's winning now. I'm
Yeah,
not betting on him. No way. If he
crazy.
do, whoop de doo. But I am not. I am not betting on him, bro. Like no way.
Yo,
So
because every time he come around, he just nope,
he just
nope,
lose.
nope.
He lose.
And clean too, not
He
like
lose, bro. Like, you are the big match loser. And there's a special
Mhm.
place in the Hall of Fame for guys like LA Knight, top losers of the company. And I don't mean that as a human. I just mean like as somebody that
as
loses
a character.
matches,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah,
But
yeah.
there's a special place because it takes two to tango. So
Mhm,
there's a special place for those people, those Dolph Zigglers and those Mizes of the world that can go out and put on great matches and just lose all the fucking time. You know,
mhm.
you still when you listen to people talk about those wrestlers, nothing but the highest praise. Same
Yeah,
thing with
they
Sami
great
Zayn,
workers. Yep,
great workers,
great
but
workers. Yep.
lose. But
Mhm,
a great face of the company need a great worker. But at the
mhm,
same time, you got to build those guys up. Same thing with Jacob Fatu. We know he gonna be out for a minute. I'm sure he was primed, like they was getting ready to move the ball with him somehow, some way. But now you
mhm.
got to take a pause. Same thing with Seth. So, bro, if you telling me 6 months ago, if you telling me like, oh yeah, in about 3 to 6 months they're gonna lose Seth Rollins and Jacob Fatu, I would be the betting man to say, hey, yeah, the product might be mid, even if
Right.
it even if it was gonna be, regardless. I think losing losing Seth Rollins, that's Seth Rollins, regardless of
Mm,
how we feel.
yeah.
That's
The
the Seth
momentum is gone.
Rollins. You know, that's the Seth Rollins. Let's just be clear. And then you got Jacob Fatu, who most people had him neck and neck with Braun Breaker as the next big superstar for WWE.
Mhm.
So you lose those two, bro, product gonna be mid. So
Yeah,
I don't even know. I don't
it's
even know
done.
how to truly be mad at it. I think they're finding some ways again. They're playing on nostalgia. You bring AJ Lee back. You know that was a great moment.
Mhm.
That was a buzz that wrestling needed. People love to see AJ Lee. I'm happy that they not oversaturating us with AJ Lee now. Thank
True,
you. She
true.
came. She served her purpose. She dip off. Even if she's fighting again at WrestleMania, make it when we say AJ Lee is returning. Of course, it's not the same impact, but do it like how you do Roman, right?
Right.
Don't make it a every week thing. You and that's my problem, right? They oversaturate the market with the talent. Even though
Mhm.
they work less dates, it feels like whether it's a documentary or it's a YouTube video or it's something that these guys are doing for social, it's like, damn, bro. Like I see Cody Rhodes 85 times a week, bro. At a certain point, you're gonna get
Right.
tired of him.
Telling us whiskey.
That's human. I see him when I want to watch the pod, and his podcast is fire.
It
But
is.
I see him when I watch the podcast. I gotta see him on YouTube vote WWE vote videos. I gotta see him when they want to show the highlights from SmackDown last week. I
Right.
gotta see him when they want to do WrestleMania rewinds. I gotta see, and it's like, yo, bro, I gotta see him when I see the video game advertisement. It's like you
Mhm,
get enough of these guys. And then he's doing local radio stations. It's on the
mhm.
Breakfast Club. I don't want to hear Cody Rhodes on the Breakfast Club. You shitting me? Like, respectfully. And
Right, right, right.
it's not anything crazy. It's just like I don't go to the Breakfast Club for my wrestling content. That's
Right.
all it is.
That's a separate world.
And you know what I mean? But it's like they do those things, and it's like all of that stuff is cool, but I feel like we're just so oversaturated with the talent.
Mhm.
WWE got the Netflix, the next show that it was doing where it was doing behind the scene. What was it called? Untold?
Untold, yeah.
I'm sure that's gonna come back more. It's like
Mhm.
Damn, you made me build up this cinematic experience. That's like watching it's like being able to watch a Marvel, like how it's made, and they showing you that shit
The
as you
green
lead up to
screen.
the movie, or like right after the movie came out, they show you that it's like Robert Downey Jr. on some strings in a green room. It's not gonna hit the same.
Yeah, not
You
at
know
all,
what I
not at all.
mean? You're gonna be like, "Damn, I thought Thanos really was out there whooping ass.
Right,
That was a string." Although we know it is. Although the same thing with wrestling. Although we know this is scripted, it's the cinematic experience.
we wanna be
Yeah, and when you oversaturate the market, when I gotta watch the same people that's supposed to be beefing with Cody Rhodes, sitting with him on a podcast, it's like,
chopping it
come
up.
on, bro. Like, we know all of these guys are cool, and it's like that's okay to be friends and be loved ones and go to work and stuff, but it's like they oversaturated. It's the same thing with sports. It's like, most of those guys nowadays are cool, but it's like when y'all in the court, compete,
Right,
you
right,
know?
right, right, like, it's all love at the end
Compete,
of the day, but we
you
wanna
know?
see y'all battle, like, "Yo,
That's
cook
it.
him."
We don't want the behind the scenes or the dinner that y'all had after the game. We gonna be like, wait, what?
Where's the
Why?
competition?
You know? So that's where I'm at just with
Mhm.
wrestling and in general, bro. It's just like, all right,
So now my question, just really quick before, we get to moving on and everything, just one
yeah,
final question I had now, and just kinda tallying up what we said and just thinking about everything that you said. Do you feel like things are this way now because it's more so that the company is, like, publicly traded and they're just moving towards all these advertisements? Like, if you look at The Ring, right? The Ring's got, like, 25
yeah.
advertisements. Everything is about selling the product, taking it worldwide. Like, how do you feel? Do you feel that that's hurting the product at all? Or is it just its own thing? It's not really.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, hurting the product is as like a viewer, I'm gonna say yeah, but obviously their bottom line is saying that it's helping the product. So again, so it's always two type of conversations that we have to have when we doing this WWE stuff, right?
Mhm,
Because there's the business side of things that drives everything, right? So that's
mhm,
the end all be all, right? Of course, we're always gonna have the fan conversation, which is the fun conversation, the opinions, what should be what, etc. But
right,
we know this is the end all be all with how every business is going to operate. What is moving the bottom line, right?
right,
So I say all that to say, yes, I think it's messing up the product, right? Because we don't like nothing is like pushing the boundaries. The promos aren't like edgy, you know? Again,
right.
I'm not
True.
saying go back to the days of on screen sexually harassing women, but it's like we could be more edgy in the promos. We could dig a little deeper in the promos. Like the same heel promo, the same face promo. It's the same thing all of the
You
time.
know what the Cody promo is.
You know what the Cody promo is, right? And it's like we don't get that. Even with the matches, I'm not saying let's go back to a bunch of bra and panties matches, but like spice it back up with the women, not underwear and stuff wise. Not I'm not talking about that, but like random TLC match on SmackDown. You know,
Mhm.
give me a random Iron Woman match with two people, two of the best workers
Right.
randomly on a Monday Night Raw. That's what I mean by spice it up. Like go back to that.
Yeah,
You
the
know what you know
theatrics.
what I mean? So
Mhm,
I would ask you the same question back. Actually, I want to ask you a different wrestling related question,
mhm.
right? From a scale of 1 to 10, and I just want you to break down for our viewers why. 10 being obviously great, 1 being like mid. How how do you think how would you rate John Cena's retirement run so far? You
That's a
gotta give me a number and you gotta tell me why.
great question. Great question.
Last wrestling topic because that's the one thing we really ain't touch on too
Yeah,
much
you're right. You're right. You're
while
right.
we
You're
was
right.
talking. So I wanted
Right.
to make sure we touched that
Right.
before we moved on
Oh man,
to the
John
NBA
Cena.
one.
John Cena. I love my guy.
Yeah.
Man,
Mount Rushmore.
I really I would like to say a 10 out of 10, but I know it's not true. It has felt like everything but a 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Which in a way is kind of the basis of why we've been talking about what we're talking about, just the product overall. Because again, like you brought up the perfect example, we didn't even touch on that. We look at a run like John Cena, it's like, oh man, like it was
Yeah.
just it's all over the place. You give him the title, you take it off him. Now we're like,
Yep.
all right, John Cena's was bad. Now John Cena's good.
Yep.
And now we're just on the last 3, 5 dates or whatever he's got left. I'm gonna say like a 3 out of 10.
Yeah.
I'm
Not for
definitely a
sure.
low. I'm definitely in the low end.
And I'm not gonna lie, bro. I'm excited for like in the next 5 to 10 years when WWE finally decides they're gonna release a documentary on John Cena's heel turn and see if we get any truth behind what that whole process was like. Because I agree with you, the number's pretty low. But I'm gonna let you finish. I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
but Beyonce
Um,
got one of the greatest songs of all time. But
man, but yeah, Cena, it just man, I wanted to like it, but again, I just don't like. And then even think about this, right? Like he lost the title, and then Brock Lesnar just shows up. Brock Lesnar just has his one look, and then Brock Lesnar's gone. I'm just like, what is happening? Like we get all these moments and it's just like snatched away from us and we just never hear about it again. And
yep,
it leaves you wondering like, yo, what was that? Like did we imagine that? Did we see that? And again, maybe that's kind of why I asked the question before you asked this question about just how the market and the business as a whole is affecting the product. It does seem like they're just looking for more of these little moments that they could post to TikTok. That's kind of the
hmm
vibe I get sometimes. You could argue that's a whole other conversation for another day, but it just makes me think like, damn, like, all right, Brock Lesnar comes out F5 3 times, and now we got a week's worth of Brock Lesnar videos to run on social media, and it's like, is that supposed to be everything nowadays?
yeah,
It just as fans, I just want, like you said, we want the veil to stay, or we want the curtain to not be lifted. We want the
exactly.
theatrics, we want the
That's it.
cinematics, we want the product, we want to be immersed in it. It's fun. That's why we talking about
That's why we
it.
talking about it, bro.
But I just hope as they get to that last date that they just make it special. I don't know, do something that is gonna make us be like, okay, cool. Like John Cena's last hurrah. Great. Congrats on a phenomenal career. We love the guy and send him off into the sunset.
That's it. You know what I mean? And I
Yeah.
just think I think it's how it should be. I think they felt this run. The only reason I would give it a 5 is if you would have asked me before that AJ Styles match, I probably would have said 3. But I'm gonna give it a 5 after that match
That AJ
because
Styles match was good.
that was the best match of this run for him so far. That's probably match of the year for me when so far when the Webbies or that whatever them things called
The love you
come
too.
around when those awards come around, I even hope that match is up for SP because I really thought that match was that worth it. Like that homage to wrestling to see so many different finishing moves, to
Who
see the
says yeah,
firefly, like to
yeah.
see it just made you feel good as a wrestling fan. The
Mhm.
first time in a while WWE had a non-title match that really grasped me
Yeah,
that way. So
yeah.
shout out to
Something
them,
to be said
man.
for that.
Shout out to them. So wrestling is a good space, bro. Provided us with the State of the Union, WWE. I
Mhm.
thought that was a great topic, great conversation.
Definitely.
Now it's on me, and I'm gonna let you all know I'm full transparency behind this pod thing. We worked on it. I worked on this, so I'm gonna try to get through this smoothly. If it sound a little funky, it is what it is.
I mean,
But here we go. Oh, yeah, there we go. So, ladies and gentlemen, hoop heads, fantasy addicts, and this thing is moving so slow. We're gonna have to cut this out. Nah, leave this in. Leave
so
this.
we
Nah, we
freestyling this,
outside. We outside. Nah, you gotta go through the growing pain together. Hold up.
right?
Hold on, we gotta start this over. Right, ladies
Not
and
growing if we
gentlemen,
not
hoop
trying.
heads, fantasy addicts, and people who still think the Knicks are one piece away. Welcome to the NBA State of the Union Paint to the Pit edition.
Yeah,
Man, what
amazing, bro. Amazing.
what the
That's
what
amazing.
the
Amazing statement, bro.
yo, yo, I'm
My
in
God.
tears, bro. Hold on.
Hilarious.
Guys, all right. So, welcome to the State of the Union Paint to the Pit edition. First off, bro, we're gonna start off, bro. What a season, what an off season in Milwaukee, bro. We talking about
Oh,
Giannis Antetokounmpo. He talking about he might be up out of here. I know there was even talks about him going to the Knicks, so it's gonna be
yeah.
fun and interesting to see if he finish up his season as a Milwaukee Buck. I know they were saying the New York Knicks that might be fire. Meanwhile, bro, in Oklahoma City, who's about to start playing as we speak, they are back hungry to get in their rings. But the question is, can they run it back, or will someone finally teach them about the heartbreak? Now I gotta
Mm,
move over to my team,
mm.
LA.
I mean,
LeBron starting the season injured. Luca, Lakers. I repeat, Luca, Lakers, which still
yeah.
don't even sound real. But the NBA has officially entered the crazy territory, right? And speaking of things that fell off, bro, our first season with no NBA on TNT, no Chuck, Shaq, Kenny, Ernie. I don't know how I'm gonna feel about
Mm,
that, bro. I know they're gonna be on ESPN, but this is gonna be different. The NBA is back on NBC. Back on NBC. We got Mello and T Mac calling
yeah,
games. That's
Mellow.
gonna be fire. The nostalgia on the microphone gonna have me going crazy. You know, Mello gonna be out there talking his junk too. T Mac gonna be talking his junk down in Orlando. The Magic got Desmond Bain, bro, with all of the injuries going on in the East. The Magic might be the sneakiest team in the East. I'm calling it now, bro. They're going to ruin somebody's playoff dreams in April, and hopefully it's not the Knicks. Speaking of the Knicks, every year it's this might be the year. I let it confidence, but let's be real. The East is loaded, although there are a lot of injuries. Knicks fans, pack snacks. This could be a long road trip. And in Dallas, of course, my boy AD, Clay, Cooper Flag.
Mhm.
Hopefully Kyrie comes back whenever he comes back. I don't know if this team is championship ready or just, you know, ready to put some highlights up on YouTube, but we're going to see. You know, I'm going to be cheering for them. The Slim Reapers in Houston, they lost Fred Van Vliet, but the Rockets are either about to be terrifying or tragic. But honestly, I'm here for both, here to watch them crash out.
Mhm.
Stephen A. Smith on a world tour again, talking about LeBron. Jesus, brother, go outside, touch some grass, sniff some air, talk about someone else. Please stop talking about LeBron. And of course, bro, we got to talk about the Clippers. Did they circumvent the salary cap? Of course, I think
Oh
they
my
did.
God,
Kawhi Leonard
they
actually
cheating.
getting paid to not do nothing. Sounds like his current NBA job, bro. But this NBA season gonna be fun. Grab the popcorn, charge the remote, prepare the group chat because basketball is back.
Basketball is
Yeah,
back.
bro. So we finally made it through that monologue. I'm gonna do those more often, bro. That was pretty fun. But yeah, bro,
That's cool.
basketball season is back. Of course, for me, you know, Luca starting the season without Braun. I think, you
Mhm.
know, his prime set, you know, knock on wood, everybody stay healthy. I think this is his MVP year. I think he's gonna have the
Mm.
mantra to do it. I think he's gonna have the platform to do it, right? And by platform, I mean you playing in LA, all of the eyes are gonna be there. The team is without Braun. So all of the writers is like, this is the year for Luca. So
Right.
hopefully he gets that done. I'm interested. I'm about to turn the Oklahoma City game on once we finish up here. Gonna watch them play the Rockets, bro. I think it's a lot of good parity in the league this year with all of the injuries. You know, Orlando, like I said, is gonna be sneaky. Seeing how Miles Turner play with Giannis and the Bucks,
Mhm.
that's gonna be fun. Watching
Yeah.
them figure it out. The Knicks are deep as shit. You know, so hopefully they can stay healthy. New coaching staff. We know what Mike Brown is capable of. So
Yeah.
I'm sure we're gonna see more fluidity in the offense. I'm looking forward to that. Don't be surprised if Jaylen Brown is not in the running for second team, first team All NBA this season. I think he's going to put on a tear without Jason Tatum. I think we got a lot of fun basketball, bro, starting tonight. I'm hopeful for a really, really great season. I'm hopeful like the injury bug is away from everybody, even if it's a team I'm not cheering for. I don't want
Right, right.
nobody to get injured. I want it to be a fun,
Want
star-studded
that
season,
competition.
bro. But basketball is back, and when basketball is back, I'm always in a good mood. How you feeling about it, bro?
Man, I love this is my favorite time of the year, man.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, basketball in the holidays.
It's fun, man. It's just I think it gets no better than the sport, man. It's the theatrics of it all. It's the sport itself. It's the game. We love the game. It's everything. It's the competition, the rivalries. Like again, seeing just the landscape of how things are right now and where guys is at, players making new moves to new teams. We got people that might be on a chopping block getting a new team come February.
Yep,
Hopefully Giannis to the Knicks. I don't know.
that'll be
That's
fire. That'll be fire. You know,
might
if
be a
he
pipe
can't
dream,
come to
but
LA, NY is the second best stop, of course. Of course.
but yeah, man, just man, it's gonna be interesting because I think like if you look at the East and just everything that they've been going through and the players that's out for the moment that we probably not gonna see to the second half of the season and we've been talking about this before. Like it seems like it's a free run for the Knicks right now. And
It
if this
is.
is the year to do it, it's probably this year. Like
This is, bro.
it's probably the probably the best team they've been able to put together in terms of just health and
Yeah.
just this play style. They looking good. I've been catching some of like the preseason games and seeing like what Mike Brown's been up to. It looks interesting. It's enough to make me want to go, okay, like I'm gonna watch this Knicks team and be
Mhm.
fully encapsulated. Not to say that as Knicks fans we don't do that 24/7.
Yeah, yeah, I was about to say that's what
But
y'all do.
it's a special
Every year's y'all year. So I
it's just
respect
a
it.
special it's something about this Mike Brown being at the helm. And we got rid of Tibbs and we get to see a fresh coach and see what the team looks like under that helm. So I'm looking forward to that. Yeah. And like you mentioned, the Lakers, man, like Luka's a phenomenal guy. Watching Luka cook up, man. It's like you just never. You always gonna have a surprise game. Just like damn. Once you thought he wasn't capable of something, he comes with like 60, 20, and like 8 or something like that. It's like,
Uh,
bro,
that sounds like Luca, bro. That sounds like Luca.
man.
100%.
But
Sound like
yeah,
Luca.
I'm excited. Like I'm definitely looking forward to watch a little bit bothered by the whole TNT fiasco and where that kind of headed, but it's just like even like where it's at now. Like I know you mentioned Carmelo and T Mac. That's gonna be fun. I
Yeah.
at least can look forward to stuff like that because it's good to see players from the past that's done and retired like come to the game and kind of bring their voice. And
I
even
agree.
if it's like nothing significant, but you could appreciate a person like Melo who could come into a commentary and might talk about the game. You see how he thinks. You see how he kind of goes about what he's saying, how he sees the floor, apart from just the commentary on what's happening. It's always great to see players like that. But yeah, I'm really feeling how it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be a fun year. I think it's gonna
It's gonna
be
be fun, bro.
yeah, yeah,
It's gonna be
for
fun.
sure.
Basketball is back. Wrestling is always here, but you know, yeah.
Right.
Pain to the Pit is
Come
back.
together.
We will be back more frequently. We will be coming to y'all 2 times a week now. So I should have laid out all of the updates 2 times a week. You'll see us more active on our socials. If there's any topic
Mhm.
that you want to see us talk about, feel free to comment. But we do want to end it off with one more segment. This segment don't got a title yet, but we're gonna call this segment "Tell Me Something You Want to Hear." From sports. Tell me something you want to hear from sports. And this segment is just going to be where Jason and myself we highlight something. It could be from any sport. It don't have to be the ones we focus on. Wrestling in the NBA. Just something that we want to highlight. Something that we saw. It could be from the week, from the month, from the year. Something that came across our mind of somebody or something we just want to highlight. So Jay, the floor is yours.
Man, ooh, who to highlight, man. You know who I want to highlight?
Who that?
There's been this talk of this guy. First of all, topic is baseball. 'Cause I gotta go to
Mm-hmm.
baseball.
Mm-hmm.
Um, big Japanese player that's supposed to be coming over, which seems like it's a frequent thing nowadays. I forgot his name. I believe it's Murakami. You
Okay.
probably heard of him. He's been
Yeah.
in the show. Like they
Yeah.
had they
I heard
had
of
his
that
card a
guy.
couple of times. That dude is a powerhouse.
Yeah,
So I'm hoping
I
he
heard of
comes
him.
to the league, shake things up, man. That's
Yeah,
gonna be fun, man. That's gonna be fun. You need guys like that that just come in, ready to wreck, and they can hit. That guy seems like a great player. And all them overseas players, they got fundies, man. Them fundamentals is there. They could do everything.
Nah,
We see it in a person like Otani. Look what he's doing in the playoffs.
nah, that's real.
But yeah, I'm just looking forward to guys like that coming over, man. Just making baseball fun.
Nah, for certain, bro, for certain. Yeah, bro, like baseball's been fun, bro. I've been trying to keep up with it. World
Mm.
Series, Kendrick versus Drake again. So we're gonna have fun. We're gonna enjoy it. We're gonna watch it and see how
Yeah,
that go, bro. For
yeah,
me,
man.
our first episode back, it's not too often, I think, like where certain things just happen in a moment. And if you're watching it or you're a part of it and you watching like the GOAT of a sport emerge and you watch somebody grasp it and then contain it, that's how I feel about Asia Wilson. I think Asia
Ooh,
Wilson is the GOAT WNBA player. Let me just read off some of the accomplishments, bro. 2018 Rookie of the Year, Most Valuable Player, record setting 4 times, 2020, 2022, 2024, 2025. WNBA Defensive Player of the Year, 2022, 2023, 2025. Led the Aces to a title, 2022, 2023, 2025. Won the NBA Finals MVP 23 and 25. So set the individual record. She in 2024, she became the
yeah,
first NBA player to score over 1,000 points in a season. Bro, when we talking about a GOAT emerging before our eyes,
dominant,
bro, Aja Wilson might
dominant, bro.
might just be the best WNBA GOAT. Now I know it's more people out there that geeks that be like, oh, what about this person? What about that person? Talk to your sister about it. Don't talk to me about it. Aja Wilson is the GOAT. Congrats to the Aces. 3 championships in 5 years. For her to be winning I think she won this year, 2025, she won the league MVP, defensive player of the year, finals MVP. Bro, swept. And obviously that means she won the chip, finals MVP.
That's like a
So
triple crown at this
come
point.
on, you know what I mean? So it's like you talking about somebody where most players are winning MVPs and the defensive player of the year is somebody random on the team that
Hmm.
just gets blocks and rebounds. Bro, she winning both awards, both of them.
Affecting
Both
the
of them,
game everywhere.
So shout out to Asia Wilson. It's always dope when I feel like, living in my generation, I love to say I lived through like GOATs. I know like basketball, a lot of people say MJ, so it's like tough,
Yeah.
for me on this side, probably Bron. But I feel like Serena is one of them we lived through. GOAT.
Hmm.
Now
Hell.
Asia Wilson, one of them. Obviously Tom Brady. We could go through a bunch of sports, but Asia Wilson, this is your moment. Salute. You the GOAT. Just want to give you your props, man, because
Hell yeah.
what you doing in Las Vegas is crazy. What you did in
We
South
watching
Carolina
great.
is crazy. Like you got a statue already in South Carolina. You probably gonna get one in Vegas. First ballot Hall of Fame,
Easy.
GOAT, all of that stuff, man. So shout out to the Aces. And this is coming from a New York Liberty fan. And Breonna Stewart got a dope resume herself too. Some people will argue that, but Aja Wilson a GOAT. But thank y'all for subscribing. Hopefully, y'all not mad at us for being away for too long, but we promise you that we'll be back around way more consistently. Please engage with us if you want us to talk about something. If you want to hear more about something. If you don't want us to talk about something, let us know. All feedback is great feedback. We
Love it.
appreciate y'all. Until next time, paint to the pit. We are out.